I'm sure you guys have heard of the canary that the miners used to bring when they tried to extract coal from the ground. The reason that they would bring the canary is because it would keel over first if there was a gas leak, if something toxic were to happen, and the miners who wouldn't sense it otherwise would have time then and warning to get out of the mine. In this case, the mine is California, and the canary is already dead. California is dying, my friends. People like me 2 years ago left, gone. I didn't want to pay the high prices, the high taxes, the homeless people that were surrounding my neighborhood that never used to be there, that would freak out my wife when they would walk by her with their hand down their pants, muttering as she's pushing our baby stroller along. That's what I had to contend with. All those reasons are why I left. Joe Rogan, who has all sorts of incentive to stay within the great state of California, is leaving for Texas. He is taking his $100 million contract that he got with Spotify with him. With that, he's going to pay far less in taxes. That is $13 million the state's not going to get. Why? Because they shut down the state, because they don't offer people freedoms, because they don't find a way to interact with businesses. It's almost impossible to run a business in the state of California. Make doing business here untenable with the high taxes, with all the workers' rights that they can sue you for absolutely anything. I have talked to lawyers who work in the field, and they tell me that it's absolutely ridiculous how hard the state and the bureaucracy make it to have a business here. And this is what's taking place in California. And you are seeing the canary. It's already keeled over. Elon Musk, who threatened to leave the state of California after a kerfuffle with them trying to shut his Fremont plant down and keep it shut down, has said, I'm done with California. Guess where his new plant is going to be? Also, Texas. He is taking all that money, all that infrastructure that's being built outside of California. Do you not think that California would have liked to have it? Do you not think that people within the state would have loved to have been employed there? But the burdensome regulations and the leftist legislatures make it very difficult for him. And he just says, okay, I'm done, moving on. It's an equation. On one side, you have fantastic weather. You have the beach in Southern California that can be quite nice. You have all the infrastructure, great restaurants, entertainment. There's all sorts of positive things. On the negative side on the other side of the equation, you have traffic. Terrible. Can take hours out of your life to go somewhere. Anybody who's driven around LA or the Bay Area knows about this. So you have traffic. Then you have the taxes that I've already mentioned that are burdensome, that are sky high. If you're making $100,000 a year, pretty decent salary, right? Wouldn't you rather put that $10,000 in your pocket rather than pay for the health care for illegal immigrants or some leftist in a university who is enforcing Title IX and gender equity with the outcome of a man who's accused of rape being that he doesn't get a fair trial? It's absolutely crazy to me that we are paying money and the university is using this to stifle young people or to infect their brain with Marxism. This is where our tax dollars are going. For that reason alone, I partially left. Also, on the other side of the equation, you have massive numbers of homeless people. It's just like the zombie apocalypse. They're just springing up all over the place. And LA does absolutely nothing to deal with the homeless problem. San Francisco basically makes them saints. You are allowed to shoot up on the street. You are allowed to poop on the street. They should make a game called Poop Jump, and where you just have big piles of manure and your character has to jump over them. And you can do that in the backdrop of the Golden Gate Bridge. It would be a big time seller because people would recognize the reality of it. And if you happen to fall in the poop, you lose a life and you just stink rays come up from your character. This is what it's like to live in California today. And it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And now you're seeing the LA mayor tweet out support for Antifa, for the Portland rioters. He tweets out support. What does that tell you? That tells you that if Antifa takes place in LA, that he's going to tell the cops in the city to lay off them, as Ted Wheeler, that idiot, treasonous a-hole, is doing in Portland. This is what Eric Garcetti has basically stated that he will do. Antifa, you're welcome here too. I am on your side. This virtue signaling nonsense that basically deprives local businesses of their ability to sell, of their ability to stay open. Industry is moving. I mentioned earlier, Tesla is moving. California is like the 45-year-old blonde at the dinner party who used to be really, really hot, and everybody wanted to pay attention to her. Everybody wanted to move into her. Who doesn't understand why she doesn't get the same attention that she used to. Hey, I'm California. I'm Miss California. Look at my oceans. Look at the cliffs. Aren't they majestic? I've got Santa Barbara. I've got Mount Shasta. I've got Yosemite. Yeah, California used to be really pretty. Now it's aged. Now it's full of traffic. It's full of homeless. It's full of poop on the street. Burdensome regulation, super high taxes. Sorry, you've got gray hair and crow's feet. I think there are greener pastures elsewhere. No, California does not have the same luster that it once did, and you will see property prices start to fall. People right now are paying $2,200 for a one-bedroom apartment in the center of LA. Why? Why is somebody going to pay that? Yeah, if you have to commute to your job and your job's there, I get it. If you have a good paying job, maybe so. You can handle that hour in traffic. Okay, so be it. But for the average person, hey, you can get the same apartment for $800 somewhere else. But you want to pay 3 times the price just because you live in LA? For $2,200, you can get an amazing place somewhere else, in Phoenix, in Vegas, in Colorado, in Texas. All these places, your money goes so much further. So if you have money saved, or if you have a job where you can telecommute from, then by all means, it only makes sense to do so. Why do you want to stay where there's major traffic, where parking tickets are $80 a piece? For street cleaning. There are others that are more expensive, of course, where they're defunding the police and making it less safe, where they go after you if you are a business. If you don't have money, we're going to leave you alone. But hey, if you've got money, we're reaching into your pocket because we want to use that to fund, for example, houses for the homeless that are like one bedrooms that cost the city over $500,000 to build. This is just money that's inefficiently spent, and it's absolutely criminal, and this is due to all the laws and regulations in leftist California. The simple fact is that there's going to be a move away from the major cities. In addition to the fact that you have leftist mayors that are actively encouraging the destruction of the city, and I challenge you to fight me on that point. I challenge you to leave in the comment section how I'm wrong. You see, Eric Garcetti has basically invited Antifa to LA. If I'm a local business owner, I am looking to sell and get out. And I think that's what the average person who's sane should do. Just leave the leftist logic behind in California, where it's basically destroying the state. Yes, you have Silicon Valley, you have Hollywood, you have these amazing productions. But again, Tesla is moving elsewhere. California has lost its luster. Property prices will drop. Poop will rise. Homeless, the number of homeless on the streets. What are you going to do about it? They're protected. They're a protected class. California right now is actively going after the civil rights legislation that is in their constitution, trying to get a bill passed that will abolish it so that they can actively discriminate. This is reverse discrimination. This is leftism at its core. It is destructive. It is unhappy. And it's somewhere where I don't want to be. So I left a couple years ago. Tesla and Joe Rogan are leaving today. Sayonara. See you later. California, bye-bye. Get out while you still can. Get out of the California mind while you still can. The canary is down. I repeat, the canary is down. All miners, come up to the top. Come to the surface. California is gone. Some people will say it doesn't have the same luster. Peace and blessings, everybody. If you like this little rant, share it with your friends. I'm out.